I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to use this JPK. I have no earthly idea what I'm doing. I got a free trial of StreamYard just to do this because
look at this. This is nice.
I know. and I don't know really what I'm doing. I don't even know if anyone can hear us. We're live like everywhere too. I'm like live on Twitch and YouTube and on X.
I call it Twitter still. I will never call it that.
X, you know?
But
we're live on X, baby. We're live just for Elon.
Are we?
Well, why not? Would you want to talk about Elon Musk? I don't.
I mean, but that's what we're just here to talk about anything, right?
I guess so.
God bless.
Yeah, like Ophelia said, that's exactly what it is. Really though, I read that and some reason I read that as shitter. I don't know why.
You read that as shitter.
Shitter.
Okay.
Shitter.
I mean, that's what it certainly feels that way most times you're on it, doesn't it?
Well, you're not wrong.
There's a lot of nonsense.
Bad juju.
Yeah.
Bad juju.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's whatever, whatever. Hello to everyone. There's this person here, JPJ Loves Gaming. Massive piece of shit.
Is he? I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard. Oh, you've heard
probably why he doesn't find a lot of work. But you never know, I've always heard good things. I've heard.
Hello, BJ. Hello everyone. I'm gonna edit this as I go, so it's not like an ugly screen. But this is not gonna be like a professional fucking show. We're gonna hang out for an hour or so. Well, we're just gonna hang out until JPJ has to go. Really, that's what we're going to do, and we're just gonna talk about. When I say ask us anything you want, we don't care what we talk about.
Nothing is off limits.
If you want to just talk about wrestling, feel free. If you want to talk about food, feel free. Do whatever you want. I don't care.
Well, thank you, BJ. I appreciate you, friend.
Love that, BJ.
A lot of work goes into this.
Hey, BJ, this isn't on JPJ's channel. This is my channel.
I'm going to show this. I'm going to share this on my YouTube if you allow me to. But I should actually. We should have found out a way that we were simultaneously. But Surfer Dude Josh
probably done it. Oh yeah, we can talk about my new job at some point. I guess I don't really care about people knowing where I work at this stage. Yeah, I started a new job like a couple of weeks ago. It's really easy.
That's always a good thing.
And I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it at fucking all. It's easy and I just get to listen to music and watch basketball and get paid to do it. It's fucking awesome.
Like for me, right? There's nothing wrong with working. I've worked hard before. Everybody works hard. Absolutely. You should work hard. You should take pride in the work you do. But
absolutely,
nobody's job.
I'm gonna click something, by the way. So if we go away, I'm very sorry.
Nobody's job.
Oh, look at that! I put a background in here. Holy shit!
It's like weight. It's like water. It looks like water.
Whoa! Fancy. There's so many. Look, this one's like.
Oh, I mean, I like a purple. I like a good purple anytime.
This one's like we're hanging out on the beach,
That's the vibe you get there?
I don't know. Maybe. What's this? Is it
because of like the sand? This is kind of brooding, dark and.
It's very like blue, I only watch stuff in dark mode. I'm edgy.
Are you a dark mode person?
Oh, absolutely. If you have your, if you have a dark mode, open up,
it's on.
Oh my god, no! It hurts my eyes if I see anything in light mode. Chat. Are you a dark? If you
sometimes
are a light
I
mode
download
person,
new apps, and if they're too bright, I'm like, who? Like that's too bright.
Oh, this one moves.
And that one moves though, so that's pretty cool. But that's a smidge too bright for me.
Yeah, it's too bright. But this one I like.
This one I like. This one's okay.
Let's leave this one here for now until I find something
But
I like
what I was gonna say is, nobody, some people I hear, you hear how's your job going, and they're like, I'm so tired, I work my ass. It's like. I have no problem with working hard, but nobody should be working their whole life.
What,
BJ? Is that true?
What did he say? Oh,
he said dark mode hurts his eyes, light mode all the way. What?
Get out of here, buddy. See you later. Nice knowing you. Listen, I got out of my job that I was at because
you liked that job though.
I liked that job. It was a good time. I guess I used to work at a vet clinic. But it's just hard. It was long days. It was stressful. And it was just taxing. And I just couldn't do it anymore. So I've gone to the complete opposite where My boss literally tells me to not do work.
Oh, what a time!
So he's
What's
just
that
like,
like?
no, he's like, here's one job for the day. Watch something on the computer and just man the shop. And I'm like, this is great. I just get to listen to the music I want because I'm the only person like he's like out the back doing shit. So I'm the only person on the shop floor. So I can just listen as long as it's not excessive swearing. He's like, cool, do what you want.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, okay. So Ophelia sits in the middle, which I'm not a fence sitter. Pick a side.
My thing to me is like I know.
Omar? Hello.
I know that I wouldn't remember all the time to switch back and forth. You know what I mean?
Me too.
And then I would be like, oh, I would go to get my phone at 10 o'clock at night, and I'd be like, oh, I'm blind. I'm blind.
Imagine waking up in the middle of the night.
Mode.
Oh, and then that opens up. Oh my lordy lord! I would just fall off the face of the planet. Really?
Yeah.
We'll get this out of the way, JPJ. I am wearing a Dallas Mavericks hoodie today because I was
somebody's got to lose.
Playoffs, the championship
not
finals.
Till next Thursday. Not till next Thursday.
So we've got a few days of being nice to each other, but as soon as that fucking buzzer sounds, baby,
it'll only be the way the NBA has the structured schedule for the. Have you seen this?
I did see it. It was interesting.
Why the hell? Okay, first of all, let me preface this. The finals is going 4 or 5 games. It's not going 7, so we don't have to worry about it in a long form situation here. However, the team's not even close, man.
I don't know.
Why if the finals were to go 7 games, it would be over the span of like 18 days.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Why? It's June.
Yeah,
the hell do we need to be watching basketball till the end of June? Like, I get it. It's the finals. I get it.
They're just doing this. They're milking it.
Every playoff game is every other day. Like, almost every round is every other day. Then they get to the finals, and I got to wait 2 days in between each game. Why?
Yeah, I'm not into that. I'm not into that at all. Just like I just put it all together and let's just fucking bang this out.
Like, the playoffs for both hockey and basketball both start in April.
Yeah, well,
they both start in April.
I don't know anything about hockey. Like, literally,
it's a very similar schedule. They start a smidge earlier than basketball, but they're not at the finals yet. They're still in the conference championships, but they're towards the ends of those series. But like,
yeah, I know nothing.
The playoffs for both these sports start in like basketball starts in April, and it literally does not end until the middle or end of June.
Yeah.
2.5 months of playoffs. What are we doing?
Yeah, it's a long time. It is a long time. But also, like, I don't know. You say this now, and then at the end of June, when there's no basketball to watch, you'll be like, I miss basketball.
It'll be boring.
I'm the same.
American football will start to be kicking up in July, and then it's
basketball goes for so long anyway. Like, what really? Like, the fucking season starts in September. Some bullshit like that.
No, literally, I think it's October. I know hockey goes from like October till April-ish, and I think basketball is like end of October till. But then the playoffs are like a third. They're the length of a third of the season.
Yeah, it's fucking wild that it goes for as long as it does. Like, AFL season here goes from March until September. The very end of September, so that's like 6 months.
So that's like our baseball season. Our baseball season goes from end of March, middle end of March to the end of September, and then the playoffs are all October. So
it's ridiculous how long stuff goes for sometimes and how. But anyway, Dallas and Boston are going at it.
I mean, we can. You want to get into it now?
Well, we'll get into it over the course of this thing. But I don't know if people know this about JPJ, but. He is a bit of a Boston man, just a tad,
just a smidge,
He, it's Boston above all for you, really. Really, you love Boston, which is fine, as you should. Yeah. But I don't know if we've ever had a situation, JPJ, where we're enemies. I'm trying to.
I mean, I don't know. You've decided to,
Dallas was my Western team, and then Raptors. We don't talk about the Raptors because, but like Dallas is a good team. Dallas is a very good team.
They have two good players. Yes, I have two really good players.
You calm down over there. Pipe down.
I mean, they do. They have two great players. Without them, they are not even they're not here.
So. Well, literally, that is true. But I mean, that could be said about a lot of teams. But never mind. I do think that no matter the outcome of this, I do actually think we're going to get some good games out of this.
I mean, I hope so, because it's been boring as hell watching my Celtics dominate their way through the playoffs. Like, literally, these 3 series have meant, don't get me wrong, like, obviously I root for the team. They lost a game in the first round. They lost a game in the second round. But these 3 series, honestly, have been pretty useless. Like, it was you knew before the playoffs started, it was like, okay, the East, like, it was either, like, Giannis was going to, but they didn't end up doing anything.
It was Boston were going to win the East.
We were going to be in the finals no matter what. There was not a team in the East that could compete with. Not going to say there wasn't a team in the East that could beat us. Clearly, there were teams. I think if Halliburton was probably healthy, they might have won one of those games in Indy, and we would have won in 5 like we did the previous. Like, I get it, but like the playoffs started, and it was basically fait accompli that the Celtics were going to be the Eastern representative in the final. Now,
I was pretty certain Dallas were going to win the Western side of things, though. Maybe not
at first.
Like,
once Denver was out, I thought the West was wide open. To me, as a Celtics fan, the only team that I worried about in all of the playoffs was Denver, because I did think, even though the Celtics were the best team all year and they've been great, I would have picked Denver to beat us if Denver was in the championship. I would have picked Denver.
Sure.
But once Denver got eliminated, for me, it was, the way that I'm looking at it is, for everybody else, I hope it goes at least 6 to make it a series, but I don't see it. I personally don't see it going past 4. But I'm giving Kyrie I'm giving Kyrie and specifically Luka, because he's on an all-time run right now, and he's won. He's won.
The thing with the Mavericks,
he's either the best or the second. Him and Jokic are the 2 best guys in the league. They're the 2 best guys in the league.
The Mavericks more like lean on Luka more so than Boston leans on any one player. Mm-hmm. But if Luka's on, it's very hard to stop the Mavericks when they get going. If Luka's off,
and like I'm going into this finals expecting Luka to be on. In most or not all.
You want to fucking hope so in the fucking finals.
Well, for Dallas, but like, look at Luka's gonna get the way that I look at it is, okay, so let's say we were separating the rosters right now and we're just drafting the finals. No teams, everyone's free. You're gonna take Luka first overall.
Oh yeah.
But then who you taking Tatum 2?
Yeah,
maybe Brown. You take Tatum 2. I would take Brown 3, because Brown is better than Kyrie. Kyrie, as far as a totality of a career, is better. But right now, Jaylen Brown is better than Kyrie Irving. It's a better player.
Sure, but I mean, I could hear the argument for either side with them. But like, you would take Luka and you would take Tatum 1 and 2. They're 1A.
We could say the top 4 players obviously are in whatever order I think Luka is definitively 1. And I think Tatum is definitively 2.
Sure.
The other 2, you're taking Jaylen Brown and Kyrie.
Yeah.
They're 3 and 4, whatever way.
Whichever one you take first.
So out of the next 3 or 4 draft picks, tell me when you pick the next Dallas Maverick.
That is true. No,
Kristaps Porzingis, who has not played for the Celtics this whole playoff.
What you're saying.
Everyone wants to say the Celtics had the easiest run to the finals ever. We haven't had one of our best players the whole playoffs either, people. Nobody's saying that shit. Nobody's saying that.
Sometimes, especially I've noticed in basketball, especially I notice in the NBA, is that anything can fucking happen.
I agree. But like I'm saying, you take those 4 guys out of it. You're taking Porzingis before you get to the next Dallas Maverick. You're taking Derek White before you get to the next Dallas Maverick. You're taking Drew Holiday. Yeah, that is funny. I did see that comment. You're taking Drew Holiday before you're taking the next Dallas Maverick. I would take Al Horford before I would take the next Dallas Maverick. So you're talking 9 guys. There's 2 Mavericks.
One thing that I will maybe agree on with you in a certainty is that I do think that Dallas will be chasing, as in like, yes. I think Boston will get the first win, and I think Dallas will be constantly chasing. Now, does that mean that Dallas will lose? I really, honestly, I don't know, because again, anything can happen, and it's the finals. It's
yeah. Things. And the Celtics have been there before. They have not played well. When they've gotten there before, but you would think that Brown and Tatum are older, more mature, like, and don't get me wrong, this Dallas Mavericks team that we're seeing that made it to the championship, it's not the same from a player standpoint, it is, but it's not the same team that the Celtics played during the regular season. But we had 2 matchups with the Dallas Mavericks during the regular season. We won both of them. And let's just say the game that we won by the least amount, we won by 22.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So we won by 22, and then we won the second game by over 30 points.
There's no question about it. The Dallas Mavericks are the underdogs in this finals. But again, you have to have you put yourself in my shoes, JPJ. You have to have unbridled hope for your team. And listen, I think it's going to be a good. Listen, I would rather these 2 teams than a lot of other teams in the final fucking 2.
I agree. I think I like Dallas. I like the story. I mean, I know we mentioned it briefly, but like for me, dude, Kyrie Irving coming back here, that is, oh baby, that crowd at the Garden, probably only for 2 games, maybe 3, but that crowd at the Garden, every time he touches the ball, it's going to be bad. They are going to be booing the shit out of him. I honestly kind of want the Celtics to at least lose 1 game so we can win the championship in the Garden, so Kyrie can walk off that court like the loser bitch he is. And he can walk off the court with everyone waving by. Don't be assholes, by the way. Don't throw shit. Don't say inappropriate shit. Just go and boo the shit out of him because he's an asshole. This is sports hate. This isn't real hate. Relax, people. Relax, people. All right? Because there are people that do take it.
I can't. You hear me get people do.
Yeah, you hear me get riled up. I yell. I scream. I will call someone a bitch, and I'll say I hate someone. Of the room and you it's go, cool. Sports. This is all in a sports landscape. If I saw Kyrie Irving during if I saw Kyrie Irving walking down the street, I would call him a piece of shit. But I would say it with respect. I would say it with respect. I'm not going to go attack the guy, but I would let him know that he's a fucking turncoat, and I wish bad things on him.
Anyway. Speaking of, it's my turn to get heated a little bit because yesterday, no one is going to know this unless they watch the AFL, but yesterday, the Adelaide Crows put in one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a team.
Did they get blown out?
Okay, this fucking
what does a blowout consist of from like a scoring standpoint in the AFL?
Last week, at home, we played the West Coast Eagles and we won by 99 points. All right, that's a fucking lot. Nearly a full.
Yeah, I was going to say that should be a blowout loss. 99 points.
That is a blow. That's like above and beyond a blowout. A blowout fucking win for us. So we're like, cool. This is like, here's. I'm gonna lay out something for everybody just so they understand where I am at as a fan of the Adelaide Crows. So we have been. So in 2017, we had one of the biggest killer years we've ever had. Finished on top. Went into the finals and was just like, cool. We're gonna blow out. We were winning just. Bam, 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 bam. Like we were destroying. We got to the grand final in 2017 and we fucking blew it. Like it was bad. We got wiped by Richmond. It was terrible. Mm-hmm. Ever since then, we've been in like a rebuild phase of like a lot of older players left.
So you really kind of went for it in 2017 and it didn't work out. And then it's kind of out with the old and with the new.
And we got younger players and there was a few things that happened that I won't get into. But we've been in like a rebuild. We knew we were going into a rebuild and it was going to be a tough few years.
Yeah.
We had a horrible year in 2018, 2019, 2020 happened and that was COVID year. So it was a bit different. But I'd say last season, so last year and this year, there's been a lot of emphasis on us as a team of just like, I don't think we're ready to play in a grand final, but we're ready to make it to the finals. We're ready to make it to the 8. And we were like, there was a lot of talk about in preseason this year of like, Crows are going to get there. They're a younger team, but they're starting to we're scrappy. We're very, very scrappy. We end up losing the first 4 games of this year. And we're like, oh, great. Awesome. So it's going to be one of these years again. Mm-hmm. And our losses, are coming. We seem to be that team that loses really closely. Like we lose within a few points. So it's even worse. So we know that we can get there, but we just can't quite get there. Then we had a few wins and stuff like that. We won last week and stuff like this. And there's a lot of emphasis. So the way that the AFL is set up, you play at home one week and then you play away the next. So you alternate usually. Sometimes it's double ups, but whatever. Victoria, the state of Victoria, so where Melbourne is kind of like the heart of football. The MCG, probably a lot of people have heard about the MCG. It's a huge fucking stadium. If you can't play well at the MCG, you kind of toasted because that's where the grand finals played every year. That's how it works. We haven't won at the MCG since 2017, where we cannot win in Victoria for whatever fucking reason it is. So we went into this game with Hawthorn yesterday, and both kind of sides are in the same kind of boat. Like Hawthorn are starting to come up, and there's a lot of talk about them. But we were in a spot where it's like, this is kind of I know it's only halfway through the season, but it was a bit of a must win. Like your season's kind of on the line here. Like, yes, we could still technically make it into the finals, but, and we got, the first half of that game, we got absolutely murdered. It was not good. And I was not happy. Because when you love a team so much, you know this feeling, JPJ in sport. When you love a team so much, you want them to do so well. You also can see how well you're doing, but it's just not consistent. And I would rather just lose completely, landslide every single week. At least then I don't get my hopes up. And then the worst part about the Adelaide Crows is that they like to come back in like the third or fourth quarter when there's not enough time. So they
kind of pull you back in.
Oh my God. And then the hope comes in like, it's within reach. And then they don't. And it's just getting to the point where it's just like, how much longer do we have to rebuild? How much longer do we have to lose in close finishes? Like the amount of close finishes we've had in the last 2 years is like 3 points or less we're losing by.
Really?
It's bad. So like it's worse when you lose close because you're so close to it and you're like, fuck me. I was pissed.
Yeah, you'd rather get blown out. You'd rather just get blown out because then you know it's over.
Players are pissed. So
the players are angry.
No, fans. I misspoke. But the coach is like very like, I like optimistic, but sometimes it's like, shut up. Like, just be accountable. Like, no, we need to they're like, oh, we did so much right, but we're not winning. No. I don't understand that mentality of like, yes, okay, cool, we played well, but like, if you're not winning, you're not playing well enough. So, and you have to win at the MCG. If you don't win the MCG, you can't win the grand final. That's just how it works. So like, we have to be able to, we play much better at home. If it's at Adelaide Oval, we got our home crowd. We play pretty awesomely most of the time. Yeah. But if we play away, we're toasted, and you can't as a team. A good team has to be able to play in any venue. That's how sport works. You can't always be at home. So like, it's just, if you look at our counterpart, our South Australian counterpart, Port Adelaide, they have proven that they can play at Adelaide Oval and anywhere else in the country.
So they're good this year, Port?
Port are pretty good.
Yeah. That's a worst nightmare scenario, right, for you?
They're going to make it into the 8. I don't think we will. I don't think we'll make finals again this year. We were so close last year and then kind of got screwed a little bit. But it's just, anyway, that is my AFL rant for the day because it's annoying me and I just want them to do well. We love our teams and we want them to do well, and it's like pissing me off that they don't.
Listen, with how confident I am, right, and how good I feel about the Boston Celtics, if the Boston Celtics lose this championship series to Kyrie Irving, I may never recover. I may never, there's a good chance that I might never be able to watch the Boston Celtics ever again.
You won't hear the end of it from me, I can tell you that.
Yeah, they're clearly the better team. Kyrie Irving is one of the all-time villains in the history of Boston sports because of how he left here and the lying and just the bullshit that he did. I think it would be a full circle moment. Jaylen Brown was a teammate of Kyrie Irving for the first couple of years of his career. Tatum had him for a year. They're going to say the right things. They're going to say it was great and blah, blah, blah. Kyrie was trying to tear this team apart because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were so good when they were young that when Kyrie was hurt, we made it to the finals without him. because Tatum was an unreal rookie and Jaylen Brown was an unreal second-year guy, and Kyrie Irving's fragile loser ego couldn't handle that because he wasn't the center of attention, so he started being his bullshit, tearing stuff through the media, degrading them in interviews, sold out Boston Garden, telling the fans, I plan on re-signing here. And then by the end of the year, he said, I can't wait to get out of here. Fuck you, Kyrie. You deserve to lose these finals, and you deserve to lose them to the Boston Celtics. And I think that's what's going to happen. But if they don't, I might never recover.
Here's a question from Zach.
It's a good one.
If you could turn any video game into a total drama island series, what would you choose? I have no idea, but I don't know.
Early, I see Hab guy said Fallout 4. They kind of did.
Yeah, I guess
not an island, but they turned the Fallout video game into a series of sorts. It's excellent if you haven't watched it. Excellent. That's tough. I could see The Last of Us, maybe. I know they made that a TV show, but like an island series. Now, when you say a drama island series, like you're talking like one of those romantic reality TV show type, like Love Island.
Is that what he's talking about? I don't know.
Is that what you mean, Zach? Like a Love Island? I don't even watch that show, so I could be wrong. But you talking like a drama, like everybody's on an island, like banging each other and fighting and doing like.
God, if I was hot, I would love that show. Imagine if you had like a giant cock.
You watch Love Island? I don't, but I know people that do.
No.
No.
Like Survivor.
Oh, Total Drama Island is a cartoon. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either.
I got to look that up, to be honest, so I can give a proper answer.
Let's talk about wrestling.
Okay.
Maybe. Yesterday, when I was watching SmackDown,
yes,
something happened that came over my body that I was like, oh my God, it's really just, wow. Chelsea Green won a match, and it was fantastic. She won too. She is a winner. She is a winner. She got the pin.
I think they're... Go ahead.
Well, she got the pin, and she got the win. Yeah. So she's the greatest of all time. That's really what I was getting
I do think they're going to give Piper the title match, though, right?
They have. It's already been made
official.
For Scotland, baby. Bailey's going to get booed.
Yeah. She won't lose the title, though. That'd be something if they all of a sudden just hot-shotted on Piper. But
because SummerSlam, a certain queen is going to get the title of one. Nia, if there is anyone in that company that deserves to hold it, I hate using the word deserve.
Can I give you my
Nia is the one.
I agree. I think Queen Nia is going to beat Bailey for that title. And then I think the following week on SmackDown, another queen is going to return.
Charlotte Nia, would you run that?
I would. Okay. Right away, I would run it. I would run it.
That would mean that it's a babyface Charlotte, though. But she is kind of... I hope they do the babyface Charlotte thing where she's still Charlotte.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't just make her like, I love everyone. Like, just make her be Charlotte, but like you're a babyface.
Yeah,
you know
she's a baby.
Like,
make fun of the
and I guess when you're wrestling Nia, whoever is in the ring with Nia is usually the babyface because people don't like Nia. One thing I
thought Charlotte might have interrupted the coronation last night, to be honest with you, but she didn't.
She's a beast. She probably is nearly ready to come back, but maybe not.
But if you want to play it safe, you lead this to SummerSlam. I don't know what Bailey's gonna. Oh no, she's doing Piper at Clash. You lead this to SummerSlam.
Well, I think she's gonna do Piper. I think she's gonna do Piper at Clash, and then I think she's gonna get Chelsea in Toronto
in Canada.
Oh, that's two. That's
Money in the Bank. That's two nice.
And also crowd reactions for Bailey probably not going to be the best.
Yeah.
Just because of who they're in the ring with. Although I would prefer Chelsea in the Money in the Bank ladder match, but I'm not going to say no to Chelsea Green wrestling for the title. But yeah, no. Ooh, that'll be a hostile environment going into Scotland.
Yeah, they're going to be rooting for Piper.
And they're going to obviously love Drew and over Damien 100%. While I do think that Piper will lose and Drew will win, that's what I think is going to happen. Could you imagine the absolutely nuclear heat if CM Punk showed up in Scotland and screwed Drew McIntyre over the title?
I think that is a possibility.
It's a possibility. I think it is Drew's turn. I do. I really do. I'm like, he didn't get it at Clash last time, and he got it at WrestleMania, and then it got ripped away. Like, I think it is Drew's turn, and I think this was always the kind of plan, to be completely honest.
Okay.
But the heat, man, that CM Punk,
it would be incredible. It'd be incredible.
I don't know if he'd make it out of the country.
It'd be incredible. It'd be incredible if he did it. It'd be incredible if he did it, because he would be a hero over here.
Oh, he'd be a hero over here, but over there,
so like he would get all that heat over there, but then on Monday night he'd come out to a hero's welcome.
I do think that Drew will win though, and also to have guys' point, Nia has come back and has improved in like tenfold. She has put on banger matches. She gets in the ring and pretty much has a good match with everybody. And people, how much do people clamor for? Oh my God, I would like Nia Jax if she'd just stop hurting people, whatever that means, and has good matches. She's come back and done that, and you still fucking don't like her. So you don't actually want people to get better. You just want to be a bitch on the internet for being a bitch. So fuck off. Nia Jax is great. Her finisher is great. That thing, oh my God, that annihilated to Lyra Valkyria.
Tremendous. What a finish.
What a finish. I was just watching the match. It was fine. Like, whatever. It was what it was. That finish made me stand up. I was like, holy shit, because listen, I mean this in the nicest way possible. Nia Jax is a big human being. Like that would hurt you. And the way she hit her, JPJ, you're muted.
It on Raw.
Oh wait, no, I hear you now.
I think Pat McAfee said it on Raw, where he was like, I was watching it from my couch at home, and I thought she broke every single bone in her body.
Shout out to Lyra Valkyria as well.
Oh yeah,
she turned me into a fan of hers in that Queen of the Ring series.
I think that you want to talk about someone that they brought up, that they positioned immediately in the right kind of way. Lyra Valkyria is one of those people, because they brought her up immediately. They put her in this tournament. They had her have a Cinderella run to the finals, and they had her look good against Nia. And that finish and her taking that and then coming out on Raw and having a good match and getting a victory the next night, she looks like a star immediately. So I think they've done that really, really well with her.
Speaking of that match, well, post that match, Io Sky was quite pissed off, wasn't she?
She was, yeah. Very, very pissed off.
She's already a babyface in my eyes. I think the heel time for her is done, to be completely honest. But how would you, this is a random question, Damage Control's entire run in WWE has been very in parts criticized. Do you think Damage Control, say if they were to break up tomorrow, do you think that it's been a success?
Success, yes. I would say at first. I would say at first. I would say it's been a success. Bayley is a world champion on SmackDown. Io Sky was the world champion before her. They had a main event world title match, all involving Damage Control at WrestleMania this year.
Sure.
Now you have I know Asuka's a little banged up, but they were the tag champs as well. I want to see where they go, because I wouldn't mind. I could see Io leaving Damage Control.
She'll be fine.
Yeah. But I'm intrigued to see a Dakota-led trio of Asuka, Kyrie, and Dakota. I would keep them together. I would keep the three of them together. Is that purely
because Dakota can talk for them?
Partly, yes, but I do think.
Yeah. But I want to see Dakota in the ring.
I don't think Asuka needs anybody to talk for her. We've seen they let her go and do her thing, and she rules.
And we've seen now in WWE they're not afraid to have subtitles.
No, I actually think that's what's made the product better. Is that Julia girl is coming soon. She hurt herself, so she's going to be delayed a little bit. But she's coming in NXT, and that was the main thing you read about. Is she doesn't speak great, and they're like. And I think the report even was WWE cares far less about that now than they used to.
Yeah.
Which makes me think who cares? Use subtitles like they did with Shinsuke. Who cares?
It is. I mean, I would way rather watch a subtitled promo than a bad promo in English. Of
course.
Not because they're of anyone. Yeah. We've seen time and time again where there's great wrestlers that cannot talk and you're like, oh God, stop. Whatever. I haven't seen a lot of this. Obviously I know who she is because
I know I'm with you. I haven't seen a ton of stuff. I don't think I've even seen a full match of her.
I haven't seen a full match,
but I know who she is. I know what she looks like. She looks great. She looks great.
Very stiff.
Yeah, she works very stiff, which I like. I take people that I know that watch a lot of Japanese wrestling. I take their word for it when it comes to Japanese wrestling.
Me too. I just
take their word for it.
Look at the people that watch it a lot and I go, if you say they're great, I'll believe you. And then, of course, you see shit and you're like, oh, cool.
Agreed.
I think she's going to be a fresh of breath air.
But to answer that comment, I hope she's okay for Heat Wave 2 because I personally think okay. So her injury set back things a little bit, but look at what NXT did. They were like, oh, we don't have Julia. Okay, let's just bring in Jordan Grace again.
Either way,
and then Ethan Page shows up at the end of I'm just like, okay.
I genuinely mean this, and I'm not just blowing smoke up NXT's ass or anything like that. Me and you both don't watch a lot of NXT.
I don't watch it live. I don't watch it live.
No, I'll watch little things of like, oh, that grabs my attention. I'll watch that, whatever. There is not many moments in wrestling where I'm genuinely like out of the loop completely, where it's just a shock, where you're like, okay, like, you're like, oh, I've heard rumblings. This is still a surprise. It's cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Jordan Grace coming out on NXT was literally like a moment where I'm like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah. NXT
no person said that name there was no person guessing that.
NXT's been good for a little bit now. I know we've talked about that, but NXT's been hitting for a bit now. Yeah. But on Tuesday night, you said what you just said happened twice.
Yeah.
Because nobody reported Jordan Grace showing up to challenge Roxanne for that title, and nobody reported Ethan Page showing up and taking out Trick and holding up the world title at the end of the show either. And in today's world, with the reports and the good journalists and all these people in social media, we know almost everything that is happening before it's happening. And for NXT, which is the developmental brand of WWE, to give us two legitimate surprises that kind of, social media after that happened, like for the next, and that, I talked about this the other night on Beards, but like, I love wrestling. Wrestling social media can be the shits. All right. We all know that it can be the absolute doldrums of the shits.
It can be the tits. It's
the worst at times. However, when shit like that on Tuesday happens and you go on social media and for the hour or 2 hours after that, everybody's just talking about, oh my God, TNA and WWE. Think about these dream matches. You have wrestlers from TNA posting, Josh Alexander saying, dream, blah, blah, blah. You got WWE people, Cedric Alexander saying, hey, now I can go for the X Division.
Drew and Chelsea.
All of them. Mustafa Ali. Going back to Cedric and going, hey, we fought before over there. Like, I'm down, bro. Let's go. Like that type of stuff. That is what social media is made for. Is that type of like everyone on there like, holy shit, this is awesome. This is so cool. Think about this. All these things Drew McIntyre posted that photo of him holding the TNA Heavyweight Championship saying, doors swing both ways, baby. And they have their big 20th anniversary Slammiversary coming up. Like, it would make sense if an AJ Styles showed up there.
Oh, speaking of that man, by the way,
last night.
Oh my lordy lord! Obviously, we kind of were like, is he going to do a Mark Henry?
Mark Henry kind of
whatever.
Mark Henry set the bar. Well. Mark Henry set the bar for that type of stuff. AJ did very well. I thought it was very well done. As
soon as Cody Rhodes came out to that ring, I was like, oh, he's going.
It's over, bro. Yeah, and I'm totally okay. I'm totally okay with them going this again because that match at Backlash was unbelievable.
Yeah, me too. That Styles Clash he did off the stairs genuinely made me go,
yeah.
Like, that is a gnarly spot.
Yeah, because Gallows and Anderson have been kind of hanging out in NXT for a bit now. Like, I hope they kind of, stick with AJ here now because they were there and they were kind of holding off security so he could do that. I kind of hope they kind of, they were, So
because they're heels down in NXT from
they are they're heels. Yeah. So I kind of think I kind of hope they stick them together.
Right? She's in NXT
is
too.
NXT, but she's a good person. She's a big person.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's in that. They're having a multi-woman match for a
ladder match, right?
A ladder match for the North American Women's Championship. So
here's the thing about that. I'll get back to. I know we're everywhere, but this is not a structured show at all. I'm really excited for NXT Battleground or whatever the fuck.
I am too.
Battle show.
It's at the UFC arena.
That's where I kind of get a little bit of a disconnect.
Yeah. So I don't know much about it, but yeah, this is like where they
can't fit many people in that.
No,
place.
Like 1,000 people can fit in there or something. It's a small place.
Like I'm sure it'll be. I like different always. I'm always like cool, different. It was, but like I don't know. The fact that Jordan Grace is coming over from TNA and wrestling in front of the same amount of people she would in TNA is kind of like, oh, when they usually run NXT shows, like
it'll be. I mean, she'll be in front of a lot more eyes, like
sure.
People watching.
I understand that, know? But like, I don't know. There is a little part of me that's like, you're doing a big ladder match in front of.
I hear you. Yeah,
500 people. But whatever. I'm all for different. It'll look cool. Just don't do it all the time. But like, oh, now I'm just getting all these thoughts into my head. But I think it's time for NXT to get out of the Performance Center, by the way. I think they should be running small theaters and small arenas all around the country.
Okay.
Personally. Imagine how cool it would be if you like took NXT to like a theater with like 2,000 people in it. That would be cool, right?
I mean, we started to see them do this. The Black and Gold iteration, they were strictly at Full Sail, and then they started touring smaller places in Florida, and then they made their way around the country.
I'm sure there's plenty of places in Boston that are smaller venues that would be cool for a wrestling show.
They could go to Worcester, they could go to Lowell. This place is all in Massachusetts. I mean, NXT used to come to Lowell, Massachusetts all the time, and this current NXT Battleground last year was in Lowell.
Let's do different arenas that aren't traditionally for wrestling around the country. I think NXT could do that, and I think it would make NXT so different because, although I will say, the times that I have watched NXT, that Performance Center crowd gets pretty rowdy.
Oh yeah, they get they get.
I think it's because it's so like the roof is so small, like it's so low down that the sound just sounds.
Yeah, I agree.
Really
and I think they have the benefit.
Let's run like arenas like that, that kind of style everywhere. Like I think it would be cool.
Even though it's a smaller crowd, I think they're running into the thing that benefited NXT Black and Gold is like it's a lot of the same people there every week. You know, like the thing that made Full Sail special during that Black and Gold was the majority of those fans down there were the same people every week. So they had those chants, they had those relationships with the wrestlers that created the chants and and all this stuff because it was the same group of people.
Do you think wrestling could thrive in when I say different kind of venues, automatically my mind just for some reason went imagine if they would have an NXT show in a nightclub.
Yeah, I think we could. I think wrestling and
especially because NXT is so targeted towards younger.
Yeah,
I feel you know how NXT uses that sexy red girl was on there. She's very
she's a rapper. I don't know much about her, but she's a rapper.
I don't know. Right? I don't know anything about it, but Gen Z love her. They love her. I see lots of people on TikTok talk about her. That kind of vibe. They like that 19, 20-year-old kid. That's what it's very bright. It's a lot of that kind of music. Why can't we run them in a nightclub or a Dude, I don't know, just places
I think
that.
a punk rock or metal venue or a club or any
a festival.
Well, I mean NXT UK did that, right? Didn't they used to do the outdoor festivals and the music? I feel the regular NXT too.
I don't know.
I feel they used to do that. I know that.
Yeah.
NXT
Why don't we do more
or
of that
regular
and
NXT would go to big festivals in England.
Tape a show in there. Let's fucking sign it up.
Yeah.
Let's just run different places around the place and make NXT different. Make it I feel automatically it becomes a little bit cool because I'm well, I'm not going to see this on Raw. Raw's not going to run in this place. Get crowds of 1,000 people.
I'm all on board.
And it automatically exposes the NXT talent to touring, of getting in that lifestyle of this is what it's like when we're on the road a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of gets them, while I think there is a big benefit of running in the same people are going, you kind of learn that crowd, and you only know that crowd when you go to other places. You're well, this worked here. Why isn't it working here? I think we can, if we run different venues and stuff like that, sure, there's logistics and all of that. I don't care about that shit. I'm just a fan. I give you the idea, go do it. But I think there is a market for, we don't just have to run wrestling in an arena.
I think so. 100%.
Let's do other things and just see what the fuck works. If it doesn't work, at least you tried. You know what I mean?
Sure.
just fuck it. Like, let's do something different. Like, I don't know. And I think NXT is the perfect place to try that, because you know what happens when it works in NXT? All of a sudden, Raw's in this new place that's never been done before. You know what I mean? Like, NXT is a good place to try that. Also, shout out to Shawn Michaels for changing his profile picture on Twitter.
Oh, incredible, isn't it? What a guy.
He's just in a chef's hat.
After all these years, Shawn and Hunter running the show.
Did you see the video of him with that sexy red girl? And he goes, come get, no, what was it? Come to daddy, sugar.
Is that what he said?
He was like,
did he really say that?
He was like, come to daddy, sugar.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Shawn's just in a car with that girl, like singing Sexy Boy. Shawn's just living his life. Dude, good for Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, he's having a blast down there. He's running a good show. His best friend got him a good gig. So he's down there running a show, gets to train. You know, he was a trainer even during the height of his career. So I guess he's probably loving that part of it, like getting to train and shoot some wisdom on all these young people. I mean, if you're one of those young people, can you think of a handful of wrestlers you would want to learn from more than Shawn Michaels?
Yeah, you're just like, oh, who's my trainer? Oh, Shawn Michaels. Oh, yeah, no.
Who's running this place? Oh, Shawn Michaels. You mean arguably one of the best ever? Cool. All right.
Yeah.
I get to work with him every day.
No problem
cool. All right. That doesn't sound like a problem at all.
What's your favorite? Well, I guess it's hard to say when you say what's your favorite Shawn Michaels match, but it probably is.
I have a couple.
It's probably Taker at 25, right?
No, that's not my favorite. It's up there though. That's probably his best. That's probably his best. That's his
I guess there's a difference between favorite and best, isn't there?
Yeah, I really, and this is going to be my age. I really like In Your House Mind Games, him and Mankind.
Ooh,
great. It's great match.
I would probably say my favorite Shawn Michaels
and Vader match also had a good one in that stretch of the In Your Houses. Him and Vader went.
This is my age showing, but probably him and Jericho's ladder match at No Mercy 2008 is. Yeah. It's probably one of my
him and Jericho
favorite.
At what 19, WrestleMania was it? 19? Yeah, that's a good one too.
That is a good. I love the finish of that match, that roll up and then the low blow. Oh. But the 2008 ladder match that he had with Jericho, purely because it's a ladder match that instead of the ladder being a spectacle, it's how do I hurt my opponent with this?
Yeah.
And it's Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. I mean,
the original ladder match from WrestleMania 10 with Razor is also.
I mean, it's still
excellent.
It's the ladder match that.
It's excellent.
It's the first mainstream ladder match, really. That
look WrestleMania 25 against Taker is, I would say, his best match.
It's
of his
one
career.
of the best.
Both their best matches. I think it's both their best. Yeah.
It's one of the best matches ever
made. Like it's hard to pick more than a couple that are better than it.
You know, it's even the craziest thing about that is like sometimes you go into matches be like, this will be good, and then it's like, wow, that was incredible. But that match, you knew that it was going to be nothing short of spectacular, and they did it 10 times better than you even like. It's not even that kick out of the tombstone.
Yeah, and Taker's
and then Taker's like. All of it. And then Jim Ross is like, I'm having an out of. There's just so many elements that it's in Texas. They're obviously both from Well, actually,
the Undertaker's from Death Valley.
My bad. Yes, sure.
How dare you?
And then he come down from heaven, and he rose up from like it was just, man. That match is just what. Even going into that, I was like, I don't think Shawn's gonna break the streak. But in that match, I'm like, he's gonna break the streak. Yeah. This is it. Yeah. That was just an element of like two people past the prime of their career in all honesty, just going out and showing everybody of like, this is what this is.
Yep.
Let's just do our thing. And they just did.
One last one. I would also throw the Iron Man match he had with Cena on Raw on that list.
That wasn't an Iron Man match.
Was it not an Iron Man? Wait, which one?
Went the hour. They just.
Oh, is that what it was? I knew they went the hour, so I thought it was.
I remember that Raw,
but that match on Raw was unreal.
They had their match at 23, which was
very
phenomenal.
Good. Very good.
And then they had that match on Raw, and I remember there was a main event announced. It was like Edge and someone, and then they went the full hour of Raw, and it was like they just. I mean, Shawn and John Cena too. Not enough people talk about actually how good John is and just like how incredible he is. I'm not saying he does you don't need to do all the moves. Like Cena had his list of moves and he did them, but like he knew And I mean, we were in there with Shawn. It was just a recipe for success. Actually, I will say probably my favorite Shawn Michaels match is WrestleMania 21 with Angle.
Oh, it's a great one. It's a great one too.
They also had a really good rematch at Vengeance of that year, and it was phenomenal. But 21 is probably like the way that match goes and the ankle lock. It's just I need to go back and watch them. Everyone knows how much I love Shawn. But I mean, Shawn's run to me is his comeback to his end. That's to me is the peak of Shawn. I don't think you can name too many bad matches that Shawn had. I mean, Shawn Michaels had an okay match with the Great Khali.
Yeah.
Like that's and nobody has a good match with the Great Khali.
No.
Nobody.
Nope.
So like if you can get an okay match out of the Great Khali, you're probably pretty good at wrestling.
Right. Yeah, I think you're gonna be all right.
Who is the Shawn Michaels of like this generation? Is it AJ?
I think AJ's at like he can still listen.
Is AJ the
I would even consider AJ. I would consider AJ the generation between Shawn and now.
Sure. Well, yeah,
that makes sense.
Guess so. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. But is AJ the closest we've seen to Shawn Michaels?
Oh, for sure. Although I would say he's young and in a different company, but keep your eye on Will Ospreay. Keep your eye on Will Ospreay. Different type of he does a little bit more high flying shit than Shawn, but Will Ospreay, I think, has.
I mean, if you take what Will's doing now,
I would say AJ. I would say AJ. I always thought Dolph Ziggler was right there, dude. I always thought Dolph Ziggler was right there. He just wasn't presented in a way that he should have been. He wasn't presented in a way that he should have been. But I always thought from an in-ring, the look, even how he could talk, like I thought you could tell that Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, Shawn Michaels was the main inspiration, and you could tell. Sure. What about Seth? I throw the name Seth out there.
Seth to me is still, well, obviously not right now because he's on the injury list. But Seth to me, I know a lot of people will get on me for this, but I think Seth Rollins is top 3 best wrestlers in the world. I just don't think Seth can do a lot of wrong, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. It means nothing. But I really, truly think Seth Rollins is in that category.
I would say, I would say for just, AJ, Seth. I'm trying to think of other people specifically in WWE that I look at. But anywhere, I mean.
To me, Shawn Michaels, when I say Shawn
Brian Danielson, he was trained by him.
But Brian to me is less of a. See, here's the difference between. Okay, I'm going to talk about Bret Hart. This is what I mean when I talk about Bret and Shawn.
You're going to say Danielson's more of a Bret Hart type guy, right?
I think that people get on me sometimes when I say I like Shawn better than Bret. They're two very different wrestlers.
Yes.
Shawn Michaels is a showman, a storyteller. He is a sports entertainer, if you will. Bret is a professional wrestler. There's a difference between them. Yes, they coincide. If you're talking pure wrestling, technical, hold for hold, Bret Hart is that. If you're talking
total package,
the spectacle of professional wrestling, it's Shawn. You blend those two together, and I mean, it's a recipe for success. That's why they were yin and yang, the perfect for one another. That's why when people are like Bret or Shawn, it's like, well, it's 1 and 1A. So it's hard because it just depends on what flavor of ice cream you're feeling like that day. Sometimes you like chocolate, sometimes you like vanilla. It's just a matter of what one you feel like. But Brian, to me, fits more in the Bret role, where AJ fits more in the Shawn role. Yes, they both can wrestle very, 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 very well. And Shawn could wrestle very, 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 very well. But it's just the showmanship. And I'm not saying that Bret didn't have that. Bret did have that. Shawn just did it better, and vice versa with Bret being a better professional wrestler than Shawn. That's how I differentiate the two. What I like in wrestling more is the more amped up kind of showmanness. I like that. I like the theatrics of wrestling as opposed to just let's just wrestle. That is purely personal preference. It doesn't mean one's better than the other.
Personally, I would say, the last generation, I would say AJ was next. He has had a very unfortunate run since he's been in AEW, but he was in WWE for a while. I mean, I see Adam Cole and I see Shawn Michaels. That's who I see.
Adam Cole is a very
I see Adam Cole and I go, that is Shawn Michaels, man. That is Shawn Michaels to me. Obviously, he's had a bad run of injury luck here these last few years that have derailed him a little bit since he made the jump to AEW. But I always, even before he got to NXT and then WWE could put the WWE polish on him, where he really looked like he was the next Shawn Michaels, I've always looked at Adam Cole
he is a very Shawn Michaels.
That is Shawn Michaels to me, is Adam Cole, because he has it all. He can have really good matches, but he is, give me the mic, give me a promo. I'm going to act like a pro wrestler. Like I'm the cool Adam Cole, baby. Like I'm the coolest guy here. Like he is someone that I look
when
at
you were in your height of wrestling, or when you first got into wrestling, that was Shawn Michaels.
It was. Yeah.
In a nutshell.
Shawn Michaels, when I first started, he had just become the original Intercontinental tier bad guy, Heartbreak Kid, just broke away from the Rockers, kind of, and that's who.
That's like,
that's Ziggler.
Shawn.
That's Ziggler. That's Adam Cole. That's who that is to me. And then Shawn Michaels made the jump to the world title picture, and then he became one of the. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's interesting with that kind of stuff, isn't it? Shifting a little bit off of that. It's always interesting to talk about this person at the moment because they're everywhere in headlines. But Becky Lynch is officially, technically, as far as we know, we don't know the ins and outs. She could have signed on the dotted line 4 weeks ago for all we know. But from what we understand, Becky Lynch is technically a free agent for the first time in a long time. There's been a lot of talk about perhaps taking a little bit of a break, which I think was honestly the plan after Mania, but then shit happened. And
something,
whatever. So personally, I don't know, crazier things have happened, but Becky Lynch is a WWE talent. I don't think there's any scenario where she hasn't already re-signed or is going to re-sign. I think she is one of those talents that if Becky Lynch says she wants $17 million, you give Becky Lynch.
You find it. You find it.
You find it
and you give it to her.
It is interesting, though, that we're in the time where WWE did not let contracts of talent that they're using on television get to a stage where they're working out of contract. That did not happen before.
No.
We are now seeing that a lot more. Chad Gable is reported, Ricochet is reported, Becky Lynch obviously is reported, Natalya is reported, that these people are. And you look at Becky, who's just the world champion, and Chad Gable, who's been in maybe Raw's second biggest story since WrestleMania, who's doing phenomenal work.
Unbelievable.
That segment on Raw, by the way, was
excellent.
This is the biggest. I think I said this on Beards a few weeks ago, but I'll say it here again. The biggest difference I'm noticing between what we used to have with WWE a few years back with the old regime versus now is that Chad Gable turned heel on Sami Zayn. If this was the old regime, the next week he'll just come out and be like, I'm a bad guy. I don't associate with people like Otis and Maxine and that would be the death of it. Those three people would go into the fucking woodshed and you never see him again.
Yep. With
this regime, it's like, well, just because he doesn't like Sami Zayn does not mean that he's just no longer can associate with these three people anymore.
And look what they're doing, because let me tell you, when Otis finally knocks Gable across the fucking head,
oh my God,
that place is gonna explode.
Look at what, even like on Raw, when Maxine,
when Maxine's like,
she got a huge pop.
Yeah, Otis is gonna become a legitimate over. He already is, but he's going to become a legitimate over babyface dude when he finally knocks Gable's head off.
And they're just letting it build and build and build and bubble.
And they're going, hey, we have this story. Instead of just focusing on the main guy of the story, why don't we make the supporting characters mean more to the company
and then it just
afterwards?
Helps. And then it just, so when it is time for them, because they have to separate at some point, they can't just be treated like shit forever. Yeah. But like it makes Akira Tozawa be like, okay, cool, let's see him in this match. Oh, he was the guy that got fucking treated like shit for 3 months.
Otis matter. It makes Maxine. It makes them all matter where they all raise.
Like
out of
that
this,
moment on Raw, like we're waiting. I know that the payoff is Otis is gonna snap and he's gonna take out. But even that moment when she grabbed Chad's arm, we're all like, I was like, slap him one, give him one.
Yeah, exactly.
And then even like the little things of what I love about WWE now is like she was walking off, and it's not like Sami Zayn just walked past. He was like, "Hey, are you good?
Are you
like,
all right?
Is everything okay?" Like, it's just the little things like that. Also, a big thing. This is a very Triple H thing because it used to happen in NXT a lot too. But man, when you watch a backstage promo, you got to have eyes everywhere.
Yep.
You're like, who's talking? Oh my god! Oh my god! It's just there's so much. There's so much happening without it just being pure chaos where it's just like nothing. You're like, what is going? Everything matters. Like Liv Morgan a few months back on Raw said to Rhea, not even into the microphone, you could have missed it. She looked at her and said, I'm going to take away everything you love. It's all going to be mine. And we're just like, okay. And then what has she taken? The women's world title. She's taken away her ability to wrestle at the moment. She's taken away Dom. And she's kind of getting within the Judgment Day at the moment. That's everything that Rhea loves. Rhea Ripley is going to be the biggest babyface in the company when she comes back,
100%.
Whenever that is time. She is going to kill Liv Morgan. She's also going to kill Dominic Mysterio. Also, Dom, you're not fooling anyone, buddy. We know you like that kiss, and we know that chair was meant to go to Liv. You little shithead.
So, do you think, I ask now, because, over the last couple weeks now, we've seen, she was talking to Dom for a little bit, week after week for a bit. Now we've seen her get out of the same car as Finn Balor. Now we've seen her chatting with JD McDonough. The only one that she really hasn't fully crossed paths with yet is Damian.
Because, my friend,
Damian's going to be out of the Judgment Day, right? Like
he's going to be a babyface.
Yes, 100%. They're moving him to the babyface, and they're going to get him out of Judgment Day. And I think Liv is going to be the new leader of Judgment Day by the time Rhea comes back.
Because, like she said, here's the thing. There was a video that I seen on Twitter that went around this week, and it was from 2 years ago when the Judgment Day were originally formed.
With Edge,
Rhea, and Damian Priest.
Yeah.
There was a conversation that Finn Balor and Liv Morgan had. Now I'm paraphrasing. I don't know.
This is when they were. This is in character on the show.
In character on the show, it was AJ Styles, Finn, and Liv. You know when they were feuding with the Judgment Day, and it was like 3 on. There was a conversation that, again, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know the exact terms, but it went something along the lines of Liv Morgan looking at Finn Balor, and she said, "We need to do whatever it takes to destroy this from the inside." Imagine the storytelling you could do that if 2 years later, the person who destroys the Judgment Day is Liv and Finn Balor.
Well, I think Finn Balor's the mole. He's the mole in it. Because somebody clearly...
Man, oh man. Like, we didn't have layers to this shit years ago, did we?
You have the Damian would break up. Because Damian and Finn have, they were tag champs. They've been friendly. But there's always been a little bit of who's in charge here.
And
who's in charge?
The Carlito element, and Damian's like, "What the fuck are you doing with this guy?"
Exactly.
And Finn's like, "No, like it's all right."
I do think. Listen, and like I know he hasn't done a ton, but like I'm kind of digging Damian Priest, man. I like how
think he's great. I think
he's been great. I like how they're giving him, like, he had the promo with Drew a couple weeks ago. They let him go out there with Gunther last week. Like, I think I put something even on Twitter about it during Raw last week. I was like, I like how they're putting Damian Priest in these spots, letting him go out there, cut promos with these guys. Like, let him shine. He's good. He's very good. Let him shine. I don't think this is going to be a long title reign, but at least to me, him cashing in, him being who he is now and the way they're presenting him, he has shown to me as a viewer that he belongs in that level of the card. He is a main event guy. He is a world champion level guy.
His cash-in was excellent, phenomenal. Yep. I think here's the problem I'm having, and the dilemma I'm having is that I want Damian and Gunther, and
what I think we might get it. I do think the Punk thing is listen. I get it.
I don't know, because I just don't know if I think Drew. I think this has to be Drew's time, because if it's not,
then he's going to lose it a month later to Gunther.
But is he? Because is Gunther going to win?
I find it hard to believe that Gunther is not going to win that belt at SummerSlam. And then I think his first main event is against Ilya at Bash at Berlin.
I don't know.
Again, you have to take Gunther into it because he's fighting the winner. And I get it. Gunther versus Drew is a bigger marquee.
I don't want that as much as I want Damian and
exactly.
Gunther.
I want it to be Damian.
I don't know if. I just don't know if it's gonna. like if you have to have Drew win at some stage.
You do. But I feel
Scotland
like
has to be that. There's just so many. The good thing about it is that it's so many possibilities. It's not like cookie cutter of like this. No. It can go in so many ways because yes, Drew could win, but that doesn't mean Drew necessarily has to be holding the title going into SummerSlam.
And I was gonna say, like,
do you know what I mean?
Drew maybe win the match, but not win the title, maybe, or however you do it. And like, listen. To me, when I'm looking at it,
I agree with Hab Guy too. Like Punk costing Drew.
Yes, 100%.
I think in the long run of the story,
because that'll be the thing that finally makes Drew snap. Like, I mean, really,
Drew and
he's
Punk
already there.
Is happening at SummerSlam.
Yes,
in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, because you do Drew and Punk at SummerSlam as a blow-off feud. You make it whatever. I don't necessarily think that needs to have the title.
Me either.
So if you do Priest. If you do Priest and Gunther for the title, then you have Punk and Drew in a stipulation / grudge match. That's 2 big male matches on the Raw side of things. And then on SmackDown, by the time we get to SummerSlam, I still think Randy and Cody is the way to go.
I think so too.
But AJ, I would be okay with them dragging the AJ thing out. Then maybe you could do Cody and Randy and Owens have a breakup of sorts of their buddy.
There's also a part of me that's like, you know what I kind of want? One final AJ Styles title run.
Yeah. Look at it. Listen, you know me. I'm a Cody guy. I wouldn't mind AJ taking it off of him like at this event in 2 weeks. Then Cody maybe winning it back at Money in the Bank or something. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. Dude. But like my thing to go into this. Yeah, the way that I look at it is I'm trying to be like, okay, where does everybody go? Right?
Yeah.
Randy and Cody, I think, is the juiciest story you could do for Cody because of the history and the way it is. But newsflash, if they're fighting, I want Randy to beat him for the belt.
Punk coming in, looking at Drew, and then just attacking Priest. Oh my God, that would be
for like a DQ victory.
Oh my God, could you imagine? He just looks at him and goes, good I'm gonna fuck you over so hard. Like, I mean, ooh,
I think that's the way they do it, even though it'll be nitrogen heat.
Oh my God,
it'll be liquid, palpable. You'll be able to, it would be.
Sometimes you have to do that. Yeah. You have to do, and you have to have those reactions. Not everything has to be glowingly fucking positive all the time.
No, dude, that crowd will lose their mind.
They may kill CM Punk.
Literally, like he will have to be like rushed down the ramp to get the hell out of it. To get out of it, because it'll be like, ooh. But then, like I said, 2 nights later on Raw, he's going to show up, and if it happens, he's going to get a hero's welcome.
I'm going to look up where Raw is. 2 nights later, what would that be? June
17th, which I also think is the night that the Bray Wyatt group is debuting. I believe that's what they teased.
Oh, they're in Texas. Yeah. Corpus
Christi, baby.
American Bank Center Arena.
All right, party time, man.
Party time in Corpus Christi, baby.
I think that's where the Bray Wyatt Bo Dallas group will debut.
Yeah.
I think they had a QR code that somehow had the.
When's WWE in Chicago next? WWE in Chicago.
They're in Boston in July. I think there's a SmackDown in July, so they'll be here.
I'm gonna look up when WWE's in Chicago next, because if Punk screws Drew over in Scotland, Drew has to do something to Punk in Chicago. To
they were just in Chicago though, because Drew did that thing where he went to the Mindy's Muffins place, but. So I want to say they were in Chicago sometime between now and the Rumble. Yeah, so that's not Drew. So that's Cody.
Oh, they're in Chicago the fucking next SmackDown after Clash.
So that following Friday.
That's so annoying.
Yeah.
You're on Raw.
The wrong show.
You little bitches. But my God, dude. The thing that I think is nice right now and why I love what I'm watching at the moment, because everyone knows that I primarily really only watch WWE unless something grabs my attention and I watch something else, is that WWE is just on fire. And they have been for quite some time now.
Stuff. They're doing some real good stuff.
Even if things aren't like, the momentum isn't like everything's hot, everything has layers and everything like has, everything has a purpose, I guess you could say. Nothing is on the shows just to be on the shows. It is just everything matters. Everything has some kind of meaning. Everybody, every talent matters. And that's what I like. Like, even like things with like yesterday on SmackDown, like Andrade and Apollo wouldn't get 6 or 7 minutes in a former life. That would get a couple minutes. Andrade would hit his finish, and that would be it.
Apollo certainly wouldn't get a thing in the back afterwards.
No,
of him
he would just
somebody.
be non-existent. Like,
yeah,
at least if you're
that
gonna,
didn't matter.
Like, sure, the story
What's up,
is
Lawrence?
probably more for Lawrence, is more so for Andrade. And by the way, the one thing I don't like about why is it that all the Mexican talent and the Latino talent have to just all be piled together? They can't fight anyone else. It pisses me off like crazy.
Yeah.
Like, my God, just because Andrade and Santos are both from that part of the world, therefore they just have to be like, oh, they're in a story.
Yeah.
Why?
It's fair.
Why?
I agree.
It's just wrong. Like, stop. Let Santos wrestle fucking someone else or go after someone else. Like, fuck off. But yeah, it's just stuff like that just, I don't know, things just matter. Like, next week, my poor Australian Indy Hartwell.
Oh, she's gonna get it.
She's gonna get killed. Now Candice is hurt too. Like, oh my God. Something did make me really laugh. Indy has, I don't know if this is just because she's Australian, but off camera, she said, "Oi!"
Did she?
And it was she went, "Oi!" And I was like, "That's so Australian of you." I love Indy. I think Indy's great.
Yeah, Indy's
how
a big moment for her fighting Jade, though. That's a good moment.
Yeah, good spot.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna lose, you know it, but like that on SmackDown, like that's a good spot. Sure, that's a good spot.
Sure. Like, especially when time is a little bit limited on SmackDown when you think of things.
And again, something else. Oh, my tag team partner is injured. Oh, instead of me not being on television until they're healthy again, let's make something of it. Let's get a match out of it. Let's get Indy some rub out of it.
Yeah, sure.
That is what.
It's not going to hurt Indy to be in the ring with Jade.
Again, if this was a year ago under somebody else, Candice, and I don't know how long, if it's a long-term thing, but like,
sure.
Oh, Candice is out for 2 months. Well, Indy, have fun in catering for 2 months. We're not going to fucking see you. We're going to pretend you don't exist for 2 months, and then once Candice is back, miraculously, the both of you will appear. No.
Tag team title scene seems to be Bianca and Jade look to be defending against Shayna and Zoe, who have a little help.
Yes, with the returning Sonya Deville. How do you feel about that? Them three getting
I like Sonya, and I think
I do too.
I think we talked about this on.
I like all three of these women. I'm a big Zoe guy. I'm a big Shayna guy. We talked about it
on our sim. Sonya is a great talker.
Probably. Those two. Shayna can talk. Shayna can talk.
Zoe cannot.
Zoe is that's a downfall.
I like the element. There's a lot of gay energy in that group.
I'm good with that too. Fuck it.
Happy Pride Month.
We need more
everybody.
of it. Yes, happy Pride Day today. Or Pride Month, but today's the first day.
Happy Pride Month, everyone. But there is a lot of gay energy there. Also, I mean, good. Sonya Deville. I've always kind of liked Sonya. I've always thought she was good. I always thought she finally did get some steam with Chelsea and then or ACL.
Well, she was like she was pigeonholed in that where she was running shit.
Yeah, she was
like wasn't wrestling.
She wasn't a GM, was she? She was just like
she kind of was though. Like,
but like, what was her official title? She wasn't like a general manager.
No,
she was like
no, it was something different.
She had some dumb title where she was on both shows, rocking suits I mean, she can rock a suit better than I can.
Tremendous.
Oh my God, she looks good in a suit.
But
I'm a very beautiful person, by the way. She's very
Sonya.
Yeah, she's very pretty.
Gorgeous.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's got nice face structure and stuff like that. I'm like, damn. And she just rocks a suit. She rocks it. She just looks good.
I'm all for it. I do think that, if they wanted to put those, and I like the background because like Sonya's wrestling was like the fighter, the boxer type.
Yeah. And she
so you could mix that into mixed martial art. Like, I do like, and
she comes from MMA, Sonya.
Yeah. So like, it's one of those things where the three of them together makes sense.
Yep.
Shayna can talk, but Sonya is the best talker of the three by far.
Sonya's one of the better, at least in the women's side of things, is probably one of the better talkers that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think enough people probably put her in that category. But Sonya really is someone that's never really had that that moment, that chance. You know what I mean? Like when her and Mandy originally separated after that Otis thing, the worst part about that was that it was stuck in front of no one.
Yep.
And then that whole thing happened where Sonya, was awfully stalked. And
that
whole fucking thing. And then she went away for a little while. And then, she was the authority figure.
And then she came back as the authority figure, yeah.
And then she was with Chelsea Green. They won the tag team titles. She got hurt.
And then
it's been...
Which I think her and Chelsea Green would have been...
Well, I mean, poor Chelsea had Carmella, and then Carmella got pregnant.
Hurt, but now... Oh, no, yeah, that's right. She got pregnant, yeah.
And then she got Sonya, and then she got hurt
Sonya got hurt.
A week after they
got and it was like, Jesus. But then her and Piper have been doing all right.
I mean, Chelsea Green because she is a very versatile talent, she can kind of work with...
She can make anything work, and I think that's why...
And
we're probably going to see her fighting for a women's title against Bayley at Money in the Bank.
Canada will be...
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be in the building, Josh. I'm going to be there.
You better be going for Chelsea Green. I know you love Bayley, but...
I'm a Bayley guy. I do like me some Chelsea Green, though. But my allegiances usually are always with Bayley.
I know you love Bayley. What about it when it's going to be Bayley and Nia? Because I know you've kind of turned a corner on Nia Jax.
I like Nia. I'll always want Bayley to win, but I think it would make sense for Nia to
win. Cool.
But I also think the Nia thing leading into Charlotte, because Charlotte is the queen. That's what you're doing.
I didn't really think of that.
Because the Nia match will be at SummerSlam, so that can't happen. So whatever, Bash at Berlin, or if they want to save it for a Survivor Series or whatever.
Where is Survivor Series this year? Have they announced it?
I don't know if they've announced it. They might have. I just don't know, to be honest with you. But
there is a little part of me that would like to see Nia in War Games.
That'd be fun.
She hasn't. What year? 2024.
2024. I think Charlotte versus Nia.
Hasn't been announced.
Queen versus Queen, I think, is kind of probably where they're heading at some point. Once Charlotte
Boston
is healthy.
Usually is always a They usually come to WWE. WWE comes to town.
Yeah, we usually get a pay-per-view. We haven't gotten up. We were supposed to have SummerSlam in 2020, the COVID year.
And
we were supposed to have SummerSlam, and that was the first big one, like one of the big four we were getting in a while.
Series.
I went to War Games the first year they brought War Games.
Yeah.
That was
so
there.
You've had War Games.
So we've had War Games. We haven't had a Royal Rumble since the 40 man, that Del Rio one. Christ.
Boy.
Yeah, was
it 2011,
2010, something like that?
2011, yeah.
So we haven't had a Rumble in a hot minute. We haven't had a SummerSlam ever. No, that might be a lie. We might have had one in the mid-2000s, but I don't think we've had a SummerSlam ever. We're never having a Mania again. And then
SummerSlam in
Survivor
Boston.
Series was here. SummerSlam in Boston, maybe in the mid-2000s, but I don't think it's ever been in Boston.
2006.
Okay, mid-2000s. That makes sense. Was that the Iron Man match with The Rock and Triple H?
No, no.
Is that King of the Ring? That was a King of the Ring that was in Boston, maybe. They had an Iron Man. Someone had an Iron Man match. Triple H and The Rock, I thought.
SummerSlam.
What was SummerSlam 2006? What the fuck happened there? I had to be there.
So SummerSlam 2006 was DX's comeback.
Oh, yeah.
So it was Cena and Edge.
Cena and Edge.
They had a WWE Championship match that ended in a DQ.
Oof, God.
DX clashed with Mr. McMahon and Shane McMahon.
Yeah, I remember. Okay, yeah.
Ric Flair and Mick Foley had an I Quit match.
I don't remember that.
Hulk Hogan fought Randy Orton.
Wow, I don't remember that either.
Thing. It also marked the first time the ECW Championship was defended at the biggest party of the summer when Big Show put his title on the line against Sabu.
Wow, I don't remember any of that.
So here's the
I remember the DX match against the McMahons. I remember that.
So Hulk Hogan defeated Randy Orton. DX defeated the McMahons.
Hulk Hogan beat Randy Orton.
Yeah. He's never lost a SummerSlam, friend. He's
Hulk Hogan never lost ever at SummerSlam?
No, that's why he didn't want to lose to Sean.
Oh, all right.
And then Sean did the SummerSlam. So Edge defeated John Cena. Ric Flair defeated Mick Foley via help from Melina.
Wow.
Batista defeated King Booker. Chavo defeated Ray. And Big Show defeated Sabu.
What a card. What a card that
was. My God. Hulk Hogan and Randy Orton went on last?
That was the main event. No, that can't be true. Over the world title?
100%. They've listed this in the order that the show was on.
All right. So was it like Were they touting Hulk Hogan's SummerSlam streak or something?
That can't be right.
I don't even remember that match.
Holy
Is that real?
fuck. Yeah.
All right. I believe you.
Yeah, 100%.
I believe you.
Wow. And then it also, so yeah, SummerSlam was meant to go to Boston in 2020. It didn't, because obviously
the world ended.
The world ended. Wow.
Yeah, so that means we're due, Hunter. So can you give us a fucking Royal Rumble? Something?
Well, yeah, well,
I'm from one of the areas where I get it a lot, so I shouldn't be complaining. But like, we haven't had a pay-per-view, I want to say we didn't have a pay-per-view last year at all.
Wow.
We didn't have a pay-per-view last year. So far
Welcome
this
to my world, friend.
We were supposed to get a big one. Obviously, the world had different ideas. We're about to be the home of the NBA champions. Can we get a pay-per-view in Boston? Thank you.
Shut up.
Anyway,
Shut the fuck up.
That's my
I will say before we wrap things up, because we've been talking for a hot minute, I didn't realize.
I know. Almost an hour and a half. Let's go.
Off of wrestling, off of basketball, off of sport. Are you a Bring Me the Horizon guy? You're not, are you?
I'm an older Bring Me the Horizon guy. When they
7-year album out, it's very good.
I still support them. I still listen to them. I listen to all their stuff, even though the newer stuff is more not my jam than the older stuff. Jam. But the newer stuff, they still stay heavy. Oh, yeah. And I think he can't scream anymore because of like actual health problems. So they still
have it a little bit in there, but you should really check out their new album. It's very good.
Okay. I'm actually in a new music mode right now because a couple of my
I know it's not
that I've been listening to forever just came out with new stuff too. So
I know it's not technically your jam of stuff, but 21 Pilots' new album is very good.
Okay.
Clancy is really
Is that their first album in a bit? I feel like I haven't heard about them.
No, they released Scaled and Icy in 2021.
Okay. So I just feel like I feel like I haven't heard the name in a bit. So
but yeah, Clancy is very good.
Okay.
Very, very good. But yeah, Bring Me the Horizon.
I will check out Bring Me the Horizon. Like I said, I usually still listen and support. I just
listen to the song. My favorite song on that album is it's called NA. It's really good. NA.
Like
so listen to that.
Like not available. NA.
Yeah. Yeah. NA. And
this is the whole album that came out.
Yeah, whole album. Okay. And Bullet with a Name is also a very good track on that album. Utopia is really, really good. Listen to that and you'll get the vibe of that album. But it is really good.
Are you a Knocked Loose guy? Do you know Knocked Loose?
I don't.
Okay, they're very heavy. I don't know if you would actually like them.
I see. I fall into that. I fall into the zone of like probably my like I like all genres. You and me are the same. If it's good music, it's good music. We don't care if it's bubblegum pop or it's fucking the heaviest of heavy. We just kind of listen to whatever's good. But if I had to like categorize I would say probably I fall into the more of the alternative side.
That's fair.
Not like probably a little heavier than like pop punk, but like not quite as heavy as like,
Yeah. So like I would say like screamo. You like a screamo?
Like that I don't love heaps of screaming, but I like that emo kind of vibe, like very My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, I get
that kind of like 21 Pilots falls into that kind of category sometimes. Paramore falls into that emo kind of scene.
Yeah.
I've always just been in that. Also, Paramore are getting a lot of attention being on Taylor Swift's.
I would imagine.
They are playing in front of giant stadiums.
Yeah, the biggest crowds they probably ever have ever.
But so many people are pissing me off, JPJ. You could imagine because of people like, who's this? Who's this band? Oh, just probably one of the biggest bands of the last 20 years when you actually
they've been around for literally 20 years. It's
like when you actually break them down, they probably are the biggest.
They're up there.
The biggest band, but they're in the upper echelons of they're probably one of the most famous female-fronted rock bands ever. When you probably break it down, it's probably them and No Doubt. Also, I listened to Spiderwebs the other day.
Wait, the song?
Yeah.
The No Doubt song, Spiderwebs?
Spiderwebs. And I listened to Tragic Kingdom,
Did you not like
that album. No.
Kingdom, the album.
I've been on a bit of a No Doubt kick recently. I don't really
look at in their height, terrific.
Tragic Kingdom is a great album. Probably one of the best albums of the 90s.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, I go through TikTok and I see people like writing about Paramore, like, who's this girl, who's this band, and they're like, oh, and I seen the top comment.
Nobody's coming for your queen. She's not coming for your queen spot. Relax.
Oh yeah, shut the fuck up,
calm down.
But I seen a top comment that liked by so many people and they're endorsing it. They're like, oh, they're just some indie band. Excuse you?
That's what is that what Lawrence just said? Nah, there are indie bands only I know. Like you said, so
no, like, but yeah, like see, someone like there was ignorance. A top comment and it was like, oh, they're just an indie. Excuse you? Indie band? Are you kidding me? What the hell? They just won a Grammy like for like the best rock album this year with This Is Why. Like they literally beat the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Indie band? Are you kidding me?
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. It pisses me off. I love it for them, the exposure and that they're
of course. Listen,
their pockets would be full of money right now being on Taylor Swift's fucking opening act. But like also as a hardcore Paramore person, I'm like, I hate that they're on this tour. I hate it. I hate it. And you could imagine their set list, JPJ. It is not.
I don't think it would be for me, Josh.
No, it is all like the let's just call them the radio friendly.
Correct.
Paramore tracks. Like Still Into You.
How long
Listen, they're great. They're all great, but hey,
how long are they playing for each night? Half hour, 45 minutes?
They play 9 songs. So
9 songs.
An hour,
so I'm probably like
an hour, maybe a little.
I would expect.
But you could imagine Still Into You's in there. The only exceptions in there. They're like at request of Taylor Swift, by the way. Misery Business just made it back into the set list because that was too heavy.
How is that not on there? That is their quintessential song.
But like,
although, do you feel like the first one? Do you feel like the first one now? So now that Paramore has kind of expanded to this long career, for me, without question, if you were going to tell me, hey, what's the one quintessential Paramore song? It's Misery Business. No debate.
I think that's
the newest, biggest hit off the last couple out? What's the one? I think you said it first.
What? This Is Why?
No, that's off the newer one. What was their big hit? I feel like they've had
Still Into You.
Yeah. Do you think that is? Do you think that is like the quintessential Paramore song now?
Well,
because of the general public.
No, I think, to be completely honest, because of TikTok, it's All I Wanted. You know that song went.
Oh, that's a great fucking song. That's a banger.
And that went really wild with Gen Zers in the last like couple of years. Yeah. Billie Eilish also loves Paramore, so then everyone's like, I love Paramore too. Oh my god! I think, to me, as a Paramore person, Misery Business is. I'm gonna get heat maybe from you for saying this, but I think Misery Business is mid-tier Paramore. It is not great. It's not bad. I just think it's middle of the road. They have much better songs. I could name Decode is one of their greatest songs that they've ever created. That's love
what
Decode.
You get for me is the best song on that.
On Riot. On Riot alone, there's probably 6 songs I could name off that album. But Decode, like the song for the Twilight movie.
Oh my god, incredible!
But their better movie song is Monster. That was for Transformers. I don't know if you know that song, JPJ, but it is phenomenal. Like, it is a phenomenal song. But I've said this to you many times. I don't know why I'm getting on a rant about this. It's making me hot. But their last 3 albums is far superior to their first 3. Paramore self-titled, After Laughter, and This Is Why, musically is just way better than Brand New Eyes, Right, and All We Know Is Falling. It is just night and day different of just maturity and music wise. They're just better songs. Sure, there's some great songs that, oh my god, there's some old timers from their old stuff, but like just as a fluent band, they're just better. Which I know you dipped out and whatever, but to my core, it hurts me that they're on a Taylor Swift tour. I know they're friends. Haley and Taylor have been friends.
They're best buds.
But like it seeing the set list, and I'm just like, oh, like they start with Hard Times, and it's just like, okay, this is a fun song. I get it. But they're just playing their radio hits for these little girls.
The audience that they're performing in front of.
Yeah, you know? I get it.
I get it. Like, listen, you're not going to have many. You're not going to have many opportunities to have a 20 stretch tour dates where you're playing in front of 80,000 people every night.
No, and
who are obsessed with you,
and
or obsessed to be, not with you, but obsessed to be there. you can make a whole lot of new fans. You're going to play the songs that are bops that these kids are ready to sing.
Again, they're good songs.
But when you go to a Taylor Swift show, again, I have not been, but you see everybody's singing, everybody's dancing. And it's a good time. So it makes sense that Paramore would play a set to cater to that and not.
If someone come up to me and said, "Here's a Taylor Swift ticket. Here's a couple."
Oh, you're going. It's a spectacle.
I would have a great time, by the way, too. I would have a great time. Have you seen many pop acts live? I haven't.
No,
I've seen Pink.
I've seen a few.
I've seen Pink. Pink's a very good live act. Mm-hmm. She's like flying in the fucking air.
Oh yeah, she does all the yeah.
And by the way, that woman is singing live while she's fucking pirouetting.
Pink's the real one. Pink is a real one.
Pink's a great pop act to go see. I've seen. I think that's the only pop act I've ever seen. Well, unless you consider Lord pop.
I've seen like pop. Lord's good. I've seen like pop acts at music festivals.
Yeah, who have you seen
at a music festival? I've never gone to see one alone. Like, hey, I'm buying this $200 ticket to go see.
Yeah, sure. But who have you seen as a pop
music
act?
Festivals? I have seen Ed Sheeran.
What's he like? I've heard great things about him.
A cool guy. He seems like a cool guy in between.
I've heard great. My mum went to watch him.
I saw Kesha.
Stadiums.
I saw Kesha. I fucking love Kesha. I saw Kesha back in the day.
Now, was this when Kesha was?
This was a height. Sign? No,
so is it $sign in her name?
Oh yeah. This was height of Kesha.
She doesn't have that anymore.
No, and that's a good thing. Right? She had some contract bullshit with bad people, right?
Like bad
stuff.
Really treated her bad. But
so
what's Kesha like live? Was she terrible?
It was at a punk and metal festival, and she was just there. She played for a half hour in the.
Awesome.
She played for a half hour in the middle of day 2 of the festival, and it was a fucking yeah. Oh my God, she came out and she opened with the. I'm not gonna remember the name of some of that. Dun 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 dun. Not that dangerous. Dun bam 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 bam. That one. She opened with that one.
Song.
She opened with that one, and I was like, "That's a fucking banger, dude." And then
that is
her first big. I've seen Bruno Mars as well at another festival.
Is he good?
Awesome.
Yeah, Bruno, I think would be a good.
This was early. This was pre his biggest song there.
Yeah.
The Uptown Funk. This was pre. Yeah. This was pre Uptown Funk. This is when he had his main couple hits. I think I want to marry you. He had that one.
That lazy song.
That one, and then he had the one with his first one there.
I know. I don't know.
Thing that I would that one.
Okay, Bruno.
So he had that. He had that stuff. He was great. I've seen Boys to Men.
Oh my
God! Yeah, they played Motown Philly. I almost took my shirt off.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've seen that. I've seen. These are all at music festivals. By the way,
I don't know if this count. Well, I guess it would be pop. I've seen the Black Eyed Peas.
Okay, yeah, that would count.
That was my first ever. Concert.
Would you consider them like?
They're like
hip hop.
They're like.
Does that offend people that actually like hip hop though?
They're like soft hip hop.
That's fair. I've seen Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh my God, you've seen Weird Al?
Right.
That's
so awesome. there used to be a music festival called Bamboozle. It took place at the New York, New Jersey, where the football stadium is, and it was a punk, metal, screamo, pop punk festival.
Yep.
But for the headliners, every year they would usually get 2 or 3 headliners that were just out of the box. Like I saw Snoop Dogg there, Lil Wayne was there. Lil Wayne was there. Motley Crue. I know they're not pop, but Motley Crue was there one year.
Yeah.
And the first year that I went on the Saturday night, which was night 2, because it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 2 headliners, Josh. So there were 2 stages, and they had double headliners on each.
Yeah.
So on one stage, it started with Paramore.
Okay.
Then it went to Muse on the other stage. Then it went to Weird Al to close off the Paramore stage. And then it ended with Snoop Dogg.
That is a wild group of
I was high. I was fucking so high.
So you've seen, God, Lou's here.
Yeah, Lou's here.
I see. So you've seen Paramore
during Snoop Dogg. I was like, we're smoking this whole time.
Oh,
I just had a pocket full
as you would. I
rolled, and I was like, this is. What
I don't even smoke weed, and I would during a Snoop Dogg.
You gotta
be rude.
You gotta
not to. It still blows my mind that Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart are best friends, but that's kind of awesome.
It is. It's
like
unreal.
It's unreal, but it's like, what timeline are we living in?
Yeah,
Martha Stewart.
Yeah,
convicted criminal Martha Stewart.
I know. Spent time in the fucking.
Clink.
In the jail, in the clink.
She was in the clink. She's a hard bitch, right?
Well, listen, the jail she was in. Come on,
I mean,
she was gardening every day. Let's be real.
So she can cook some mean ass shit too. Fucking hell.
I think that's why they're best friends, because Snoop probably gives her the weed and then she cooks, and then they just have a good time. Yeah, Weird Al was great. He played for an hour. He did like, there was only like 4 or 5 costume changes, but he played everything you would ever want him. Amish Paradise, the Michael Jackson songs. He played all of them. Like a surgeon, instead of like a virgin. He played it all. Fat.
He's great.
Eat it. So he played it all, and he came out as the fat. I don't know if you remember. This is before your time, but if you've seen the music videos, when he does the Michael Jackson, he's in the fat suit. He came out in the fat suit.
That's awesome.
And I was like, this is everything I could ever want.
So, like I've said, my first concert was the Black Eyed Peas ever. And I've seen Paramore a bunch of times. I went to we had a festival here called Soundwave, and it was mainly just like rock, alternative, emo. That I seen Paramore there. I seen Muse. I seen probably one of them like. The craziest times I had at Soundwave was at it was like one of the headliners was The Offspring.
Oh yeah, I've seen them live. They're fucking great.
The first song they played, I don't know why I remember this. So why don't you get a job?
Oh I don't know
why I remember it so vividly, but I'm just picturing being there like, fuck yeah, like I'm seeing The Offspring. Like I didn't even really love The Offspring. My older brother loves The Offspring, but like they would just, and they played Hit That, and I was like, what is going on? I'm just like watching The Offspring like at this fucking festival. I also went to another festival called Laneway. That's where I seen Lorde, but it was before Lorde was like a big deal. She sucked, dude.
Did she really? I like Lorde.
Oh, she was not good, but I was still vibing.
Because they just did last weekend. They did, so Boston has on Memorial Day weekend, they do a festival called Boston Calling. And oddly enough, the Sunday headliner was Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran and the Killers were the headliners on Sunday. I have never seen the Killers live. I think I could get down at a Killers show. I think they would be a good show. When they played Mr. Brightside, you take your shirt off. You take your shirt off. You have a good time with them.
The Killers just haunt me so much though, because they played at the 2017 AFL Grand Final and the Crows got rolled. So I hear the Killers and I'm like,
I'm the look at Tom Petty.
And oh my god!
No, I never seen. No, my biggest claim. No, my biggest claim to fame is I saw David Bowie live. A lot of people when I tell them that, a lot of people are like, "What the fuck? You saw Bowie live?" I was like, "Yeah, I was like a junior in high
that's
school."
like. And they were like, you've seen like Michael Jackson live. You know what I mean?
I was like, I saw David Bowie live once. Didn't appreciate it at the time because I was like a 15-year-old kid. So like I didn't appreciate it. I enjoyed it, but I didn't appreciate it at the time that I do now as a 39-year-old. I'm like, yo, David Bowie. Like,
this isn't probably on the same vein, but like I've seen the Foo Fighters.
That's a big one.
And they were pretty neat. Yeah. Like I was like, I remember just like watching them though and being
I've seen the Village People.
No, you haven't.
I've also seen the B-52s.
You've seen Love Shack live.
Oh yeah, baby.
So you've seen, this is your group of
people. I saw YMCA.
You're like, okay, so I've seen Muse, I've seen Paramore, I've seen Snoop Dogg, I've seen Kesha,
I'm 10 years older than you too, Josh. I'm 10 years older.
I understand that, but you have seen some fucking wild shit.
And they're all at festivals that they have no business being at. You think I would have gone and seen the fucking Village People at any point in my life, besides the fact that they were playing at 3:30 afternoon on the Saturday of Riot Fest in Chicago? I ain't seeing them anywhere else but that fucking moment.
At that festival, you're just wandering around and then you go, that's the fucking Village People.
Right. I made it clear when we were going there. I said, hey, we have our list of like 5 or 6 bands that we absolutely need to see. So if they're playing against one of those, sorry, Village People. I said, but if they are not playing against any of our must-see bands, we are doing whatever it takes. We're fucking watching the Village People.
When else are you going to see the Village
exactly.
People again?
To me, that's one of those things where it's like you see somebody like, if you're at a music festival and you're there for, your handful, 10 bands that you're there for, you're like, this is going to be fucking great. But you see that somebody like that is there. If it's not against anybody you need to see, you need to check that off your live list, man.
Yeah, you really do.
So now I can tell people, and this, I never thought we'd be having this conversation here, Josh.
Me either.
But now we're here, and now I can tell people, yeah, you're right. I did see the full original lineup of the Village People.
Do you know what is my
You got to check that shit off just to say you did it.
I don't think it's ever going to happen, but my artist that I want to see before I die, for whatever reason, is Britney. Because I think it would be awful.
I don't know if
I think it would be truly.
She doesn't still do the Vegas show anymore, right? She's done with that. She had a residency in Vegas.
I don't think so. I think after all that.
Do you think she ever does anything music or tour related ever again? Like, are we there?
Surely.
She's still in a rough month over there, isn't it?
She's just spinning on Instagram.
Because she's free now, right? Is she free?
Yeah, but
people still don't think she is.
Something's not right.
Yeah, people don't think things are right.
I don't mean to be insensitive.
I haven't looked into it enough to be able to be like, yeah. But I feel like
there's something going on.
Yeah, people don't think.
But like, I don't know why. But I just think like, imagine being like you're in a conversation, be like, I seen fucking The Village people.
That's why
I seen Britney fucking Spears.
100%. At that moment that I decided that, hey, we're going to watch Kesha.
Yeah,
my friends were like,
was it
why?
A vibe though?
Oh my god, she had a DJ.
Was she awful?
No, she was fucking great. It was the middle of the day. It was hot as hell, and she came out there and just started playing bangers, and everyone was like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" Hell yeah.
But you're probably looking around, and people are just like on fucking ecstasy and shit.
Oh yeah, we have people passing out and shit because it's too hot.
That's kind of like, I don't mean this in an insensitive way. Don't do drugs to anybody. It's not good for you. But also, like, you go to a music festival, you know what you're going to see.
Yeah,
I've never done any those kind of drugs. I'm not that kind of guy, but also, I don't know, there's a lot worse that you could do.
Oh, for sure.
I'm not saying
Kesha ruled, and I vividly remember her at the end of the show. She was like, hey, she did her normal things. Thanks for hanging out. I know this usually, she goes, I know you guys don't usually listen to my type of music or whatever. She goes, but we got one more song. And then and I was far away from the stage, but she specifically said, then I need to go find a fat guy with a beard to make out with. That's what she said over the microphone. And I looked right at my friend and I said, it's my time.
It's your time.
Imagine this is my time to shine. And then I never
making out with Kesha.
That would have been a treat. That would have been a treat. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Yeah, that's exactly. I was in the audience going, wait, she's directly talking to me. Directly talking to me. I need to go find Kesha. But she played TikTok, and then she got the hell out of there.
Were the crowd into it?
Oh my god, yeah! People were singing the song. People were singing the first song because she opened with that first song. And I can't still think of the name.
Neither can I. But I know what you're talking about.
And then she closed with TikTok, and for those two songs specifically, the crowd was down, man. The crowd was down.
I mean, it's hard not to hear TikTok and then go, "This fucking rules."
Yeah, the crowd was in it. The crowd was in
this rules. Wow, Kesha is. I don't know why out of all of them, Kesha's the most what. Wow, you think Kesha?
Yeah, it was a good time.
It's a generational talent.
I also saw Katy Perry was at a Warped Tour when she just released I Kissed a Girl. She was dating the lead singer of Gym Class Heroes, Travie McCoy.
Oh yeah.
And so they were both on Warped Tour, and she performed a half-hour set, and I watched it because I'm going to be honest with you, Josh. At her height, all-time Mount Rushmore #1 pick for me of all time, strictly on the looks meter. For me.
Listen,
for me,
each their own. Do what you do. And Katie's never been. I will say, Katy Perry's really thrown me off. I don't know why. Another one for me, I think, if we're talking just purely, I don't love pop music, you know that, but if I'm just talking pop music, I would love to see Gaga.
Oh,
I think it'd be great. I reckon that because it's just like, be gay.
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not that kind of gay dude that goes out and's like, I'm gonna wear rainbows and fucking get my cock out and shit. But
I'm not
if
gay,
I was at a Gaga show,
to a Gaga show, you gotta be who you are. You gotta let it loose.
I would just lean into it and just be like, I'm gonna 100%. Wear fucking.
When she plays "Born This Way," bro, oh my god, that is gonna be that whole arena.
That's like the Pride Month song,
the anthem.
She's almost to the point. Gaga's almost to the point where it's like when Mariah Carey comes out at Christmas time, the month of June. Gaga's around.
She should be that 100%.
She's that bitch. I remember there was an interview with her years ago. You know when everyone thought she had a doodle and everyone was like, she has a dick, she's a man. And then an interviewer said, what do you think about the people that think that you have a penis? And she goes, okay. And they're like, well, don't you get offended? She goes, what's it got to do with you if I have a dick?
Yeah, it's fair.
And she's like, do you still listen to my music? And they're like, yeah, we think your songs are great. She goes, then it's got no issue here.
Doesn't matter.
She says, and then she said something like, I have a giant penis. Just like,
I wouldn't doubt it.
But she's just like, she's very just, I don't know. Gaga is always going to be pop music wise. It's just like, it's Gaga. She's not really that relevant anymore, I guess, in the new generation.
She does more acting than singing now, right? Kind of.
I guess so.
I mean, she hasn't even. I feel like she hasn't even done anything that. Yeah, she's kind of out of the. She's kind of like, you know what? I did my shit. I'm rich. I'm good. I'm chilling.
Like the pop girly now? Is it Billy? Is it Billy?
I don't know. I don't know. Is she still there?
Or is it? It's not Ariana anymore, is it? I don't think Ari's like the.
No, I mean, I feel like Billie Eilish is near that. Again, this is not my realm.
Rodrigo.
I was going to mention her name. I feel like she's up there.
I don't know either because I'm out of that demo.
I mean, listen. Let's be real. I know it's not everybody's bag, but like when it's a year or it's a time where Taylor Swift has a new album, like she's the.
Oh, it's Taylor.
Everybody talks about her more than anybody. Like that's.
And yeah, I'm not a big Taylor person, but I'm also not that person that's like Taylor Swift sucks. No, she does not.
Clearly does not. Clearly does not.
She sucks, but she sells out 90,000.
Literally, like the most, brought $5 billion to the United States economy last year.
She sold out.
Ridiculous.
She is the highest selling artist in the history of the MCG. She sold out 3 nights in the MCG with over 100,000 people in attendance.
Most Grammys of all, most Grammy wins of all time. Most come on. When she's released the music, there is nobody that even
just
comes
it's not
close
my vibe,
to that level. Yes,
doesn't mean
it's not my vibe either. But there's nobody that comes close.
Oh, but if she plays "You Belong with Me," I am going to throw ass.
Love Story. If you throw on, I was just at a wedding a couple weeks ago. They played Love Story. I was bopping on that dance floor.
I haven't been to a wedding in so long.
Josh, I posted it on social media. I was at this wedding. It was a great time. And the second the wedding went, like we left, there was over North America, you could see the lights. What are the fancy lights?
With the star.
What do they call them? The light, the something lights.
What's it called?
Come on now.
I know what you're talking about.
Something lights.
Stupid.
The something lights.
Someone in the chat will know.
Northern Lights. There you go, baby.
Wow.
Perfect. It was perfect. We actually someone went into the venue and said, "Can you turn off all the lights in the venue, please?" And they turned off all the lights because we were like in New Hampshire, up in the mountains at like a golf course resort type thing. And we were on the balcony and it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. And I'm not like I'm not one of those people that's like I like nature, but I'm not like I normally am not the type of person that's like, oh my God, look at this sunset.
Like I appreciate it.
That's just not who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's not who I am. But even I was like, this is like, it felt magical.
Last wedding I went to was on a farm. And it was wonderful. It was just like out in the middle of nowhere, and you just like fucking rave because you just.
And then you're like, let's go in this barn and get fucking drunk.
Yeah, I got drunk to the point. This was at my sister's wedding, and I got drunk to the point where I was spewing, and I missed the porta potty and spewed next to it. And then she was like, it's time for you to.
Yeah, apparently the night before this wedding, I threw a good one on to the point where I don't remember what happened.
There's parts of the wedding reception that I
was like, did I embarrass myself? And they were like, no. But you were having a good time. And I was like, well, as long as I didn't embarrass myself.
I remember starting the night because obviously like the bride and groom have their dance and whatever. And then, the music starts and they're like, come on, let's fucking, throw down with all your family and friends and you're having a good time. I remember slow dancing with my mother at one stage because, whatever. My mum doesn't drink. My mum doesn't drink at all. So I'm drunk as tits and I'm like, let's have a dance. It was too High School Musical, by the way. It was phenomenal. And then Blur. I remember at one point, my 14-year-old, well, at that time, he was like 12-year-old brother. Me and him were like, and then my 12-year-old brother, at one stage, me and him had a dance off.
Nice.
And I wore like a do-rag. My blazer was my do-rag. Wow. And he beat me in the dance off. I was using a chair.
He's young. He's got fresher legs.
Yeah, that's true. I was very drunk at that stage. And then a bit of a blur, and then oh man, that was a good night though. Fuck, I love a wedding. I do. I don't care. I'm a sucker for a wedding. It's just like, like you get the ceremony and everyone's like, oh, this is so lovely and like love is happening.
My thing is like I walked there and they had the cocktail and whatever, and I'm just like, all right. I'm like, it's outside, it's overlooking a mountain, it's beautiful, And then I'm just kind of sitting there going, this is nice. And the person, one of it, he goes, oh, the ceremony? I go, yeah. They go, 20 minutes. And I go, oh.
Yeah, my sister's
kiss you on the fucking lips.
20
minutes in and out. Say your I do's. Tell you love each other.
Yep.
Give yourself a little kiss. Let's go have some dinner. Let's go drink and let's go dance. We're not here for you. We're here for the event.
Ours, Shaylee's was in. Oh, I just outed my sister's name. Whoops. Shaylee's was in November, so we're getting a little warm here in this.
Yes, it would be the opposite here. It would be getting cold around here.
But it was quite a coolish day. It was beautiful weather. Like, it was beautiful. It was a little hot. Like, you were in your jacket and you were like, oh, it's a little hot. But like,
once you start dancing, you take the jacket off. This wedding in particular had the clutch move where they had the bucket of sandals for the ladies so they can kick their heels off and just
their heels off.
Let loose.
So
you know what I'm saying?
They had their ceremony. Let's say it was it was in the afternoon. I want to say it was like 2-3 o'clock. So like the sun was just in the background. It was beautiful. Ceremony went for half an hour, maybe a tiny little bit longer. And then they go and take their pictures and that, and we all start eating. They had like the best food too. Oh, yeah. It was pizza. It was wings. They had pizza, like wood fire oven pizzas.
Oh, like fancy pizza.
And then wings.
Yeah.
We had like ribs and stuff too. So we're all making a mess, and I'm open bar, obviously.
Oh,
I'm hooning ciders at like 4 p.m. Wings, pizza, just like fucking having a grand old time. You know, they've probably been gone for about an hour taking all their photos and with the bridal party and the grooms, all of that shit. They come back in, you know, you do your speeches, you know, the mums do their speech and all that. They have their dance about, I want to say 6:30. At this point, my table is me, my brother-in-law's family, and the friends. So I'm on the good table. There's no kids. There's no parents. We're just all like hooning drinks. By 7 o'clock, when we started dancing, it was all systems going. Like I was in the car because I was so fucking drunk by 11 p.m.
Nice.
It was fantastic.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
It was the best.
Yeah.
It was just, and you're just eating and drinking and like
it's a celebration.
Like, oh my, you're just like, it's just so wild at a wedding, because especially when it's your family's wedding, because you're like, I'm just hooning alcohol. My friends are here. Well, some of my friends are here. My sister's friends are here. But then my parents are here. And it's like, oh, I'm hooning fucking ciders with my mother.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, this rules. I can't wait for my wedding. I mean, I'm not in a relationship.
I feel like in today's world, there are very few things that you go to where it just truly is just a celebration. Just like, hey,
weddings.
We ain't worried about anything else going on right now. We're just here. We're here for this wedding. We love these people. Good for them. Let's fucking, and everyone go. I feel like everybody goes to a wedding with that mentality of like, fuck yeah. Wedding.
Because it's just like, usually, for the most part, people you know.
It's people you know, whether it's family or friends. Usually, you're staying in the area, or you're close enough where you can get a ride, or you don't have to drive. So you know you're like, okay, we're all staying here. There's going to be an after party over here. There's going to be this. So blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. Let's just let loose. Especially if you get a good DJ too, like this DJ that they had a couple weeks ago was excellent. Ooh, yeah, if you get a good DJ and he's hitting the shit and he's doing it right, man, that is just.
So my sister, this isn't revolutionary or anything, but when she gave out the RSVPs, on the thing it said, if there was one song that I would dance to, it would be, and it was blank.
What'd you pick?
So when you I picked the Cheetah Girls.
Did you?
And it was just like any song. So then basically she got the list of songs when people gave their RSVPs to be like, give it to the DJ and it will be in the playlist. So then everyone had their song. So when we were all dancing, it'll be like, oh, this is the song that I picked. Like, you know, so then it had a bit of everything. So it was just like a lot of like, because my sister's like me, early 2000s pop music. Like the amount of Kelly Clarkson that come on at this wedding.
Dude, can I tell you?
They were like, "Stay till the gun." Like,
it was and then
fantastic.
I will have to head on out here in a few minutes because I am having some Saturday night libations in a little bit, Josh. Throwing on a good one on this Saturday.
Pizza, so I'm thinking
but so you know what's even better, right? So the people that got married were in their, I want to say early 30s, 30, 31, that somewhere in that age. So I'm a little older than them. They were playing all the hits you would expect at a wedding. All the hits. We're all dancing. And then there was about a half hour left because you have a book to a certain time. There's about a half hour left. And they went on a 10-minute medley of pop punk music. They played All the Small Things by Blink-182. They played Fat Lip by Sum 41. They played all the hits. They played My Friends Over You by Newfound Glory. They played they played the Offspring song, Yeah. They played that one. They played Basket Case by Green Day. So like all the bigger hit ones. Kind of music I want. They did like 5 or 6 pop punk songs like right now. I was like, and that's when I knew I'm like, this DJ's fucking on tonight. He knows what's going on.
That's the kind of music what's happening around. When I get married one day, it's Pride Month, everyone. Boys out there, marry me. You will have to put up with a lot of Panic at the Disco and Paramore and My Chemical Romance at my wedding reception, and it will be fucking awesome. So just putting that out there. And JPJ, when I eventually get married one day, you're going to have to
coming over, man.
Yeah,
coming over.
You'll be flying over and be getting down to some fucking misery business and shaking that booty. Like it's going to be a great fucking time. So anyway, JPJ's got to run out. I'm busting to do a piss. So like, it's time to wrap this up. This was, I have no earthly idea what this was. This was literally what me and JPJ do.
Yeah.
When you hit end stream.
Well, that's usually. And like, literally this is what usually we do. But like, I remember you tweeted out a couple weeks ago, like I miss talking about wrestling. And I was like, well, I got some time, brother. So if you ever want to do it, let's do it. And then we were chatting about wrestling. And then I was like, when are you free? Let's just hop on something and just shoot the shit.
If sometimes when we stream together, when JPJ hangs out on my streams, we do this before the stream or we do this after the stream. So we're like, well, it's not like we're fucking doing anything. Let's just do it on stream. We don't know when if ever we'll do. I'm sure we'll do it again at some point. But like, this was just a random, like, I'm not doing anything. You're not doing anything. Let's just 100%. We talked about wrestling a little bit, but sometimes we got to Kesha. So whatever. So yeah, I don't know when we'll do this again, but thanks for hanging out, everyone. And I don't know, JPJ, when are you streaming again? Probably sometime soon.
Yes, I'll be streaming on my channel, which you can see under my name right here. Starting back on Monday. We usually stream basically all days during the week, all 5 days during the week. The Love Wrestling stuff is on Thursday nights at 8 with Pluggo. Tomorrow night, I'll be on the Kicking Out pod. They're friends of us over at Love Wrestling. Me and Pluggo are hopping on there doing a little guest spot tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. But other than that, during the week, you can catch me on my channel for most the morning till the afternoon every day almost. So that's where you want to check me out.
Yeah. I'm going to be doing Universe mode in WWE 12 tomorrow. So you can come out of that. I might even do it tonight. Depends. My computer, knock on wood, has not had any issues in 6 days.
Let's go, man. That's 6 days.
So I don't know when it's going to do it again, but we're just rolling with it. So other than that, I don't know, eat shit, etc. I'll see you guys whenever and whatever and have a good time. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Peace out.